Today on Travel Tips, we are going to talk about what are some of the essential travel terms and phrases that you should know before you plan your next holiday. When I travel abroad, I make it a point that I prepare myself to have the best experience possible. How do I do that? I go onto Google, I read blogs, I research a lot to find out the best places to eat, the best places to see, and the best experiences to have. But at the same time, I have this travel ritual that a few days before my trip, I will spend about 15 minutes to understand and learn some of the travel words and phrases of the destination that I am going to. Because if you think English is spoken all throughout the world, let me tell you, you are making a big travel mistake. So without wasting any time, let's get into some of the terms and phrases that you should know before you make your next trip. You should know how to say hello, you should know how to say yes, you should know how to say no, you should know how to say thank you, you should know how to say please, and you should know how to say excuse me, if not anymore. So for example, hello can be hola or buongiorno. Yes could be ye in Korean and ya in Indonesian, whereas no would be annyeong in Korean and tidak in Indonesian. Now if you're in Thailand, for thank you, you would say kapun ka or kapun kap. And if you want to say thank you in Japan, you have to say arigato gozaimasu. And if you're in Thailand and if you want to just ask the taxi driver how to use the meter, which you should definitely do, you have to say chai meter mai. Now, if you're at a restaurant and if you want to call for the server, you would say excuse me, right? Now, if you were in Japan, you would say sumimasen. But if you wanted to say excuse me in Germany, you would say entschuldigung Sie. One of the most essential things you require when you travel is water. So if you're in Thailand, you would say nam. If you're in India, you would say pani. Now if you've done something wrong and if you want to say sorry, and if you're in Germany, you would say es tut mir leid. Now these are just examples that I've given you, but as I've gone across the world, as I have traveled the world, I've made sure that I've learned these things and these have just been etched in memory. Another thing that I learned is that you should definitely know how to say toilet in the language. So if you're in Spain, you would say inodoro. Another thing that is super important is that if you have any dietary restrictions, you should also learn the words for those items as well. A few other things that you should definitely know is how to say train station, airport, bus, taxi. And finally, you should also know how to say the bill please, because you'll always be saying that at least 2 times a day. Knowing how to say hello, negotiating prices, asking for directions, and even including yourself in some chit chat at a restaurant or at a bar that you will find yourself in, you will find out that the local people are just way more polite than normal. And in such circumstances, the locals will help you know more about a destination and your travel will just simply become more incredible. But with the advent of technology, this has been made easier. So I often use 2 apps. One is Google Translate, which everyone should download on their phone. And if you're traveling to a country, Google actually offers you the option to download an offline version of that particular language. So even if you may not have internet, you can use it. And at the same time, before I travel to a place, I also use a gamified version, which is Duolingo. Duolingo just helps you in a fun way understand the language, know the key phrases, and I have done that many times. You should definitely give it a try. And with that, we reach the end of another episode of Travel Tips with Neil Patil.